Hello, welcome to what is going to be a little bit of a introduction to a few design classics. I'll just share my screen here, and there we go. So this is something that hopefully will be the first in a series of little short presentations on design classics. I've done this one because I want to do it, I think, because it just illustrates the simplicity of an idea, and also one of our 1 week projects, which our first years will be doing, which is week number 2, which is typography, which is take a word and so I illustrate it. So it comes into that as well. So design classics. So I'll just go to this. So this design classic is from the source book. Now the source book, which I have a copy of here, this is a front cover of it. It was produced in 2002 by Ben Casey and myself. When we contacted a lot of ex-Preston students and asked them for work that they'd won awards professionally since they graduated. And this particular piece of work I'm going to show was one particular piece from this book. We have the source book in the studio, and there's some copies in the library as well. So it's well worth looking at because there's some really nice ideas in it. So this one is an identity actually for the Child Support Agency. So there we have the Child Support Agency typography. So that's essentially what this next piece of work is. And here it is. So that is the Child Support Agency logo, which was done in 1988 by a company called Williams & Phoa in London. And the student who worked on it was a student called Laura Hurd Edwards. I think she graduated in 1987, 88, and then went on to work there. And she was instrumental in helping produce this identity. And what I want to do is I want to basically, go through, how simple it is. And as a designer, you're always looking for a solution within the brief, or within the title in this case. So I'll just break it down. So the designer has taken the word child, upper and lowercase, a very strong face though, sort of a bold face, sort of quite authoritative face, like an adult. So therefore, using typography in that kind of way. So quite strong, and so therefore strong equals support as well. And then just by putting the childlike kind of chalked in lettering inside it, inside the authoritative sort of mechanically set type, it sort of shows that basically the typography is supporting. So by having it inside the mechanical type, the bold type, the supportive type. What I also like about this as well is the black and white nature of it. It's very strong in black and white, and also it alludes to chalkboards as well. Children's school, black and white chalkboards. A bit of a cliche now, maybe with technology, but still a very useful cliche. So I think you obviously get colour chalks, but I do think that basically black and white is obviously the classic colour combination for chalkboards. So I think that's really nice as well. And then the supporting text, which is the support agency, Child Support Agency. But notice how it's a little bit lighter, a little bit sort of like smaller, because you want to concentrate on the idea, which is the child and then the type within the child. But just notice how the word support is lovely justified, range left, and the agency is overhanging. So that kind of line there with the T and down with the D. So Child Support Agency. So really, really nice, classic, simple piece of design that communicates. And I think instantly when you look at that, you get it. You know what I mean? You understand it. You understand visually what's going on there, and also it very simply, in no uncertain terms, illustrates what that particular company is about. It's about supporting children, wrapping arms around children, protecting children, and it's done in a lovely, lovely typographic way. It's absolute, timeless, most you would say, timeless. Which brings me on to the final 2 or 3 slides, which, when just because something's timeless doesn't mean that it lasts, unfortunately, in design. And this is something we need to bang the drum about. Good design doesn't always last because circumstances change, people change, organisations change. People go, well, we had that while doing it, I'm going to commission a new one. It's a bit tired, I don't quite get it. Do you know what I mean? So I looked up what the Child Support Agency as it stands today, and it's, and I kid you not, This is their current identity. So we'll just go back there to this identity, which is now over 20, 30, 35 years old, and then the current identity. Now, all I can say about this is basically this, really, to be quite frank with you. Not that I use these, I believe they're called emojis, but this makes me cry. In fact, it makes me want to pull my hair out, but I couldn't find an emoji for pulling my hair out. I'm sure there's one that exists. If not, then I think there should be one, even if it's just in relationship to this particular step backwards in design. So yeah, I don't want to talk about this too much because basically, it upsets me quite deeply. But I think that what is interesting is that it's important as designers to understand that a great piece of design sometimes doesn't last, and there's various circumstances for that. So we should always be pushing at the door to sort of like championing great design, and that's part of basically what this little design classics is about. So I hope that's educated you a little bit and informed you a little bit in a reasonably entertaining kind of way. But a great Preston kind of thinking idea there. Personally, I like to think and something that really I think you could learn a lot from by analysing it a little bit. But anyways, I ramble. So yeah, hopefully that will be that'll be enough. But, I'm going to turn it off now, I think.